What's going on, everybody? It's your friend Will. We are back. This is the Memory Lapse, and we're going to try out a new version of this Teferi Angels deck this morning. I know I've kind of been down on this style of deck when I've played it, but that doesn't mean we are going to stop experimenting, and when we see other people having results with it, I think it gives us a good enough excuse to try it again. So this list comes from Chris, last name withheld. From their tournament report here, they won a 50-person pptq. I don't know. I mean, I assume that's still an accomplishment. That's probably at least a 5-round plus top 8 tournament, so they had to beat quite a few players to win that. And I guess that qualifies them for like the next round of PTQs to get to the Pro Tour. So this is their version of this Red White Angel Splash Blue, so let's talk about it real quick. They completely cut the other 2-drop Adanto Vanguard because of how bad it is against the black-green decks. Knight of Grace is very good against them. Vanguard, I think, is a solid card. Like, I think if you've seen some of the videos where we played this deck, we've single-handedly beat some of the blue-red decks with a Vanguard on turn 2. Just smashing it for 3, and they can never get it off the board. But perhaps there's other ways that this deck will win those matchups. The Justice Strikes are just a good catch-all. History is super powerful. Resplendent Angel, I have not been super impressed with this, but I don't know. I find that it just dies to all the removal. It dies to Small Vraska, Big Vraska, Chupacabra, Vivian Reed, Fine Finality, just does everything, but, it's still a 3-drop. Deafening Clarion, 2 bindings, which I like having these main. This is the one card that I really liked when we played these decks, because if you can steal a Chupacabra or steal a Planeswalker, it can make those black-green matchups a lot easier. Shalai, and then here's one of the big innovations, Raff. So being able to flash in a Lyra, so that way they can't just they can't remove it with a Chupacabra necessarily. Flashing in an Aurelia, flashing in a Shalai to protect the Raff. So this guy briefly made the rounds in blue-white decks way back when Dominaria first came out, and those decks quickly moved away from the historic, like the blue-white historic deck. They moved away from that to just pure blue-white control. So other than that, pretty stock. And then in the sideboard, Seal Away, Tocatli Honor Guards for the black-green deck again. Some counter magic since you're playing blue. Banefires to help you get over the top in the blue control matchups. Settle the Wreckage for creature matchups. So let's give it a whirl, as is customary. I hope you all like this format of trying to show off new decks, different decks in the mornings, and then having the videos in the afternoons being the continuing series of competitive constructed queues. That way there's some diversity. You're not just seeing up to 6 or 7 consecutive videos of the same deck over and over. This way we can pepper in some new stuff and then hopefully learn, inform what we're going to play next in the competitive constructed queues. Well, that took a while. I want to thank everybody again, of course, for watching, for enjoying the channel, for subscribing and leaving comments. All that stuff is very appreciated. So we have to keep in mind that we only have 1 2-drop in this deck. So hands like this might not be unkeepable. And with a Clarion and a Resplendent Angel, we rate to be okay here. Right, and we get paid off. Our opponent's on a guild gate here, so they could be on budget deck, or they could just be on like a straight blue-red deck that has a couple guild gates for extra fixing. And looks like that's what they're on. Alright, so they're representing... They are representing Ionize here, but we're just going to start throwing drops at them and make them have counter spells, I think, for the next 5 consecutive turns. This is probably one that they're not that keen to counter because a lot of their removal hits it. Right, so they're probably playing the blue-red Phoenix deck that I don't think we've played against ever. So it'd be interesting to see if they smash us. The Arclight Phoenix, so that's one card we haven't played with much. Okay. So here, we can just play Aurelia and get them for 5. So this deck, knowing that they're probably not playing a lot of counter spells, if they're on the deck that I think they're playing, they are not going to have a ton of ways to deal with something like Aurelia, which is a 2/5. Mm-hmm. Well, if we draw land here, and we get to play Lyra, I have to assume that they're basically done. Alright, so this is a free block that we'll happily take. We don't get to play Lyra, but we do get to play Shalai, which will further protect us and our creatures. And then we can even mentor onto Resplendent Angel here. Angels versus Dragons. Oh, this is a Drake, not a Dragon, damn. So you can't even use Sarkhan's Plus to power this out. Hmm. We are in a little bit of a tough spot here. This Beacon Bolt, it counts Exile too. That's unfortunate. So that means Beacon Bolt can hit Lyra. I'm trying to think if there's a play with Deafening Clarion here. We get to kill the Electromancer and gain 4, and then block. But that's only doing so much for us. And this Aurelia is vulnerable next turn. But I think this is the only way we live one turn. I don't think this is necessarily a winning play, but I think it gets us one more draw. Unfortunately, these count Exile as well. Huh. If they had just played the other half here, they win instantly. Right? They dispersal back our Aurelia. But I'm sure they're devising some other way to win this turn. Oh, yeah, that counts as well. Right. Oh, I think missing one land drop really hurt us there, but we kept 2. So against their deck, the Clarions are not going to be that good. The Justice Strikes, I think, will be. I think we want the Disdainful Strokes to counter their Drakes, another Binding to hit their Drakes. And that's probably it. Maybe like 2 Resplendent Angels can come out. Or maybe the Raff can come out, I don't know. I do kind of want the Sealaways, because I feel like if we eat their dragons, they're going to have a hard time beating us. Like maybe we go like -2 Teferis. Maybe Teferi's going to be really hard to protect. So I expect they're on. So now I'm not sure if they're on the Archvic Phoenix build. They're playing a lot of the cards that would make me think they are. Alright, so this is a obvious mulligan here. This will keep, and hope that we see land on top. Yeah, can't keep it. So we'll get to play Knight of Grace, and then hold Disdainful Stroke. Justice Strike. And maybe we'll draw History of Benalia here. Nope. So this could get Beacon bolted here. It's got Fight with Fire. Okay. Alright. Oh, bricked. Interesting. A Disdainful Stroke, whatever their play here is. And hopefully draw a land with the Shalai. Alright, well, settle for that. Okay, they got themselves another Cackling Drake. We miss again. They're probably gonna pump it up a bunch here. No? Oh. Another Cackling Drake. So this is super unlucky for us because if they didn't have the third one, we could have caught this one with Binding. But they just have 3 Drakes. Alright. Well, this is the way this always goes in this deck. You either get flooded and don't have action, or you get stuck and then you just get behind. There's really no good answer to it. But all the cards are very powerful. And I can see how you can like win a 7 or 8 round tournament just by getting the right mix more often than not. Like you're doing really powerful things. It just seems really hard to do. We had this experience when we played this in competitive constructed as well. It just seemed like half the games you played a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and then nothing else. There's no way to get through the deck. And Teferi is supposed to kind of do that, but it's a 5-drop, so you have to get to 5 first. Yeah, we're just like so dead here. Need to draw like land and Justice Strike. This is like so too late. That's super unfortunate. This draw also looked like it could have gotten there if we just hit land. I think if we had drawn 2 land and been able to get to 4, we would have been able to Binding and win that game. Alright, so those were kind of blowouts, so let's do it again. I mean, I just felt like we didn't do anything that second game. I want to give this deck a fair shot because people do report good results with it. It's just like I want to see it. I want to see it as I play Like, I want to feel why this deck is good. Alright, so I'm actually going to keep this because we've been stuck on land so often. Is it the same person who just played? If so, I'm kind of interested in a rematch here. Yeah, it is the same. I think it's exactly the same person. It didn't feel like this should be a bad matchup. We have a lot of answers to their stuff. We just got stuck. Alright. The Clarions are awkward, so I think we're going to try to use these in a life gain scenario. They must have something other than Crackling Drake. I wonder if they have the 3-drop Drake. They have the Visit, or all 3 potentially. Oh no, this must be a different person here. I wonder if we have to worry about which one's set. They don't have double black. Alright, so this is not the same person. So we need to draw pretty much any non-lands are going to be great here on out. Enigma Drake. They have Dive Down here. Negate. Alright, they're playing the Protect the Drake game. Bricked. Yeah, so this is the other side. We kept 5, hoping to draw, and we've just drawn lands and just a strike. It's not very good. These things present a huge clock to us when we're on a draw like this, where we only have Knight of Grace. But we draw any answers. I feel like we can get there. Resplendent Angel kind of counts. But it also just gets hit by like Lightning Strike. Well, if they had an answer here, I think their play is pretty obvious, just to kill this and hit us for that most likely 7. Alright, so they're digging. It looks like they kept. So if they have an answer, they're probably going to let us sink the mana into this, and then like Lightning Strike in response, and then we're dead. That's my guess. Oh, no. There's me us. Alright. I am sick of losing to this deck. I just want to draw a mix of land and spells that I can cast. This shouldn't be too much to ask. Got one Teferi. Lyra. That. No, the Lyra's too good. The first strike is too good. Got one Resplendent Angel. Alright, let's see it. Let's see like 3 or 4 land, a History of Benalia, and an Angel. Please. I just want to see what this deck can do with a draw that's reasonable. We almost got their game one last round, and we just kind of fizzled out against the Drakes. It's pretty interesting to see how good the Jumpstart cool spell was against this deck. Because that card's like, doesn't seem like it was that good. But this is exactly the kind of situation where it is good. Alright, so we're going to keep this. We have 2-drop into Aurelia on the play. Okay. So the question is, what are they splashing black for, right? We saw Watery Grave. Are they splashing black for someone on the sideboard? Whatever it is, it's probably not double black. Their deck seems so blue and red heavy. Electromancer. Alright, so that means we're getting Aurelia down here. And jamming for 6. This is going to provide a lot of mana to them. Their deck is full of these little, like, 1 and a color spells. We have 2 spells. So we're doing this to mentor. And if they have some, trick to make this better, then that's fine. But oh, really? What kind of like red sweep can they have that punishes us here? I don't think there's that much. So I'm actually just going to go all in. I don't think their deck is likely to have a lot of like punishers here. Yep, so the Lightning Strike Aurelia. It's fine. We have lethal here. I guess the one thing I should be worried about is Fire and Cannonade. Because these knights are not pirates. And it does seem like the type of card they could have. So Cackling. Ixalan's finding off the top. It's very off the top. Essentially the same. So we tuck the Drake. They're going to be forced to block with the Goblin Electromancer here. Teferi gets to activate next turn. Because we have Raff and stuff, it's probably worth the land. We're drawing 2 cards next turn. Alright, so even the deal 2 to everything is not good enough here because the item grades at 3. So we played spells there that worked out. I wonder if it's worth giving consideration to Banefire. How often are we going to chip them down to like 6 and not be able to punch through? It's also a card though that's just going to be in our hand if we draw it early and not do anything. So let's leave it as is. It'd be cool to draw Raff this game and see how the Raff element plays out. We can keep this. History into Lyra. We just want to see more. We just want to see like a 4-drop. Great. You know, in most matchups, with most other decks, if my opponent just spent turn 2 playing Discovery, I'd be like fist pumping and be like, alright, but this deck is absolutely slow enough where they can afford to do that and not get punished for it. Alright, so don't play the Sulfur Falls next turn. Do play the History of Benalia. So we're going to go History into Aurelia to Lyra, and if that curve doesn't work out for us, hang our heads. This could get hit by a Negate here. We know that they had Negate game 1. Yep, fair enough. Whatever they saw on top they liked, probably a 4-drop Drake of some kind. No, Drake. No. Huh. Maybe they kept in some counter spells where they brought in the Disdainful Stroke. Just scatter. So they're playing a little more controlling here. Alright, there's their Drake. So Lyra's coming down. And their Beacon Bolt is going to be big enough to kill this here because they have 4 spells in the graveyard, assuming they have it. We drew exactly one of the 4 drops that we wanted, but we have not drawn 4, so it's pretty disappointing. They just take 5 here. So the second phase, Resplendent Angel. And we trigger. Alright, we might have one here. This is a little bit, this is a lot. Looks like they bricked on their Opt Discovery. They had enough mana to cast and visit here. They weren't stuck. They just had either they just had lands in hand or they just had like more filtering stuff. If they had filtering stuff, they must have been on all land because everything in their deck is either a Drake, something that helps them draw to a Drake, or land. Alright, so we went 1-1. Not terrible. I still don't know what to think of this deck. It just feels like you ride or die on the top card of your library too often. Like if we didn't draw Resplendent Angel there, maybe they still scoop if they don't have an answer to Lyra, but I don't know. I think if you have the cards and you like tapping out for big creatures, go ahead and play this, but my expectations are still pretty low for playing it over a extended period of time, many rounds. Alright, well, that's it for this morning. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe, leave a comment below, give me more ideas for decks, things you'd like to see. Feel free to ask me questions. I love to answer them. And thanks again, everybody, for all your kind comments. It's really nice to see you throughout the day as people are watching the videos and leaving little notes. So that's it for this one. Exactly 30 minutes. We'll be back later with more Magic.